Okay, I wanted to do this when I'm alone, so my vehicle is the only place that I can do it. So, I won't get into what my entire life has been about and what it's like, but I can tell you one part of it. I graduated in 2001 as an English teacher from Mankato State University, or Minnesota State University, Mankato. And try as I might, and I must have had thousands, somewhere in the range of middle thousands, like 5,000-6,000 applications in the last 23 years for teaching jobs. Now, I've gotten tiny little part-time jobs, and I've gotten temporary teaching jobs, but never did I get a full-time permanent teaching job. It just escaped my fingertips every time I tried getting one. And I just kept thinking, why am I failing at this? Why is this such a difficult thing for me to get a teaching job? Couldn't understand that. You know, I wasn't like particularly horrible, and oops, dropped my phone. That's how you do it when you drop your phone. I just couldn't figure it out, you know, but I kept trying, and then I would say, oh, I'm going to give up. I'm done with this career, and I'd find another job, and I'm not really great at everything. I'm good at some things, but I'm not great at everything. But with teaching and being around kids in the school environment, it's a natural thing for me. It is so natural. Well, let me bring one thing out, is I've been married and divorced, and I've had 6 children, and I've gotten a lot of education while having said 6 children. My oldest is 31, my youngest is 11, and now I have, here's my dog. I have full custody of my 2 youngest kids, and my 3rd youngest is a 12th grade senior and 18 years old. So that's where I'm at right now. And last year I was homeless up until August, and then I got a job at Minnesota Valley Action Council as a preschool teacher, which I have done before because you don't need a degree for that. And I do love those little preschooler stinker butts. They're really cute. But it's still, you know, it just didn't sit that's the kind of teaching job that I want to stick with. And there was other things about it. I really liked Minnesota Valley Action Council. I loved it. Then I couldn't get unemployment over the summer for another story I won't get into. So I looked for work over the summer, and I found this temporary summer school job, and it is 90 minutes, hour and a half drive away from where I'm living at the moment. But it was almost a $10 pay raise. And I went, oh, okay, well, let's try it. You know, so they asked me, they said, you gonna be able to handle the drive? And I said, I think so, because even though I'd prefer not to drive all over the place, I'm used to it. I do it. I've driven to California several times, to Arizona, to Florida. I mean, I've driven everywhere. Regularly driving to Mankato. When my one son was born, he had to go to Gillette's, which is in Minnetonka. You know, I'd drive that twice a week. You know, that's while I was going to college, finishing up my bachelor's degree. Anyway, so I did the summer thing, and it was awesome. And they offered me, it's called an educational assistant job, or educational support professional. So basically it's a paraprofessional. And I wanted to start with that. They said, well, if you want to do teaching, you can do teaching. And I said, no, this is really different, you know, because it's working at a intermediate special needs school. Okay, so that's high needs. You know, it may be mental, it may be physical, it may be emotional, behaviorally disturbed, whatever. But they're all encompassed there, and it's a high school and transition school. So I worked with transitions. So they gave me an EP job, or EA job, as as an educational assistant to a really great teacher. We are just like, we're sisters. We're sisters from another mother, basically that. So it was really good, and I learned some things. And then just today, I was offered a full-time teaching job. 23 and a half years. 20 years of substituting. 22 years of various kinds, everything from preschool, high school, college age teaching, after school, summer school, Lego teacher. I was a Lego teacher for a while. I was a special categories teacher, and all those were great. They, they add up. They gave me some experience, and I worked a lot in special needs classrooms. 23 years. It took me, and now I'm on the verge of tears because I feel like I've been holding my breath for this long, for 23 and a half years. And I'm stressed out for 23 and a half years, not just because of this, but this did not help. It did not help to have a full-time teaching job for these last 2 decades. And having all these kids. But finally, I can breathe. I have a full-time teaching job. Now I have to get my license back, so I have to take classes, which there's all that. Like this Friday, that'll count towards my relicensing, just taking little extra things. And then I will go on to get a second master's degree, because the first one I didn't quite finish. Again, another story why I couldn't finish it, but it was at the hands of someone else. But I mean, since June, well, I should actually say since August of last year, things have been falling into place. Not everything's been perfect, and definitely has not been easy, but don't give up on your dreams. If you have a dream, does it really matter if it's 3 decades? I mean, okay, look at me. I'm 56 years old. I graduated with crazy hair. I graduated from college when I was 31 years old. That math doesn't work out, does it? 56, 31, 25. Oh my gosh. So maybe it's 25 years. Quarter of a century. I don't know. I'd have to figure out. I did graduate in 2001. For some reason I thought it was 23. Well, because it's 2024, 2001, 23 and a half. Okay, we're back to 23 and a half. I don't know. Close to a quarter of a century. How about that? But do I look like I'm ready to retire? I have an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old that I have to raise on my own. I have to show them good values. I have to show them never, ever, ever give up. Because I did not give up. I'm very close to crying, so I'm not going to keep going with this. But never give up on your dreams. I have some other ones. I'm not giving them up. And I'm in pain to think that I couldn't make some of them happen for some of my kids. But I can now. It's going to happen. I can buy a house now. It's a dream to buy it on my own. Nobody with me, nobody helping me, nobody throwing me out. But I can with this job now. And I could raise my children, and they can live in a peaceful house. These are all my dreams. Not all of them, but these are some of them. Never give up on your dreams. I'm living proof that you can go from homelessness to, I don't know how much I'm going to be making. I think $65,000 a year. I'm not sure. So, message me. You know, if you have trouble staying focused on what you need focused, I can help with that. One of my degrees is psychology, and communications is my master's, not just teacher. I'm concerned about people. I like to help people. So I'm so glad to be working in this place. I love it very much. It's not just a job. It is a lifestyle, career, and all of this. I just don't know what else to say, but just never give up. Don't. You put that positive thought that you're going to do this, and I don't care how long it takes, because look at me, quarter of a century, I'm waiting, and I pressed in, and I kept going, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried over and over and over, thousands of times, until I got it. And Steven Spielberg, he was a person that I read a book about him, not his books necessarily. I know about his movies and all of that in his books, but he never gave up on selling his writing. And he pinned his rejection letters, the pink slips, he'd pin them up on the wall. And then it got to be too much, so then he used a nail. And then that got to be too many, so then he used a big metal spike to hold up his rejection letters, to remind him that he can do it. It doesn't matter how thick that gets. And that's what mine is too. My applications, they've got to be at least 2 hands, because teacher applications are not easy. They're not at all easy. So I'm here for you. Use my life. Make sense of something from that to make yours make sense. I will consider everything worth it if you do that. All right, have a great day. May all your dreams come true, whether they're now or later.